bread. Last year we did it big. This year is gonna be way big. More brotherhood, more sisterhood, more UPK. On Sunday, April 2nd, 2023, we're gonna be at 421 South Salisbury Street in Raleigh, North Carolina at the Sheraton Raleigh Hotel Ballroom. We calling all blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians to come join us.
Your third eye peephole, line for line, this shit too easy. It's like a free throw. Mastered the game too early. This bitch.
Remember, admission to the Passover is $200 per adult. That's $200 per adult. For more information, call 919-697-8257. Call 919-697-8257.
You lie.
Let's clap it up. Salam Israel. Yahweh Hashem outside Bakatah to the Akim. Yahweh Shamar Allah Ta'ala Hashem outside to the Akwakim. You know what I'm saying? We are the ISUPK, the Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge. Started out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commanding General Yohana. You understand? And since 1969, we've been bringing out the truth of the Bible. And the truth is the so-called black man, so-called Hispanic man, and the so-called Native man is the true Israelite or Jew according to the Bible. You understand? And our oppressor is the devil that the Bible speaks of.
That's right.
And when we say devil that the Bible speaks of, the devil is not a man walking around with horns all red. You understand? It means deceiver.
That's right. That's right.
When we take a look around this world, there's only one group of people who have been deceiving other nations since birth. You understand me? And one thing that deceived us about is all these holidays that they get us worshiping and claiming other gods. You understand? And our people, the so-called black, Hispanic, and Native person, man, is so quick to hop on these trends. You understand me? And not really know what it's about. You understand me? Like you wouldn't walk into nobody's house and just eat their food. You don't know who made it, right? When you start treating these holidays the same way, you understand me?
That's right.
And this is Wednesday night law class that we're going to get into tonight. Tonight, our topic will be breaking down the meaning of Valentine's Day. You understand? Where did Valentine's Day come from, right? Like, we're supposed to believe it's all about love, right? Hugs, kisses, candy, right? Every kiss begins with K, right?
Right.
Like from elementary school, they start you out having the little kids walk around, hand out cards, hand out gift cards, you understand me? Hand out candy, hand out chocolates. We have a culture of people who feel like their love is dependent on how big their Valentine's Day gift is. Right? It depends on how hard that man or that woman splurged on them on Valentine's Day, right? Right. And for the brothers out in the world, if y'all expect a Valentine's Day gift, I don't understand. We should do some candy, chocolates, you understand me? Get in class and learn what Valentine's Day really means, you understand? And we're going to get into it tonight, right? Valentine's Day, we're going to get to the origins of Valentine's Day. When people say Valentine's Day, we feel like it's a custom that was started in America. But in all actuality, it was not started in America, you understand me? This Valentine's Day was started, it's a Roman custom, you understand me? It became Valentine's Day to Christianize what they call Lupercalia, you understand me? Lupercalia was like a fertility festival, you understand me? They used to have. They would get together, you understand me? They would get drunk, right? They would have illicit sex, they would do illicit things, you understand me? Orgies, minors, everything involved, you understand me? We're going to break down that tonight, you understand me? Alright, we're going to get to it. Okay, Valentine's Day, right? Lupercalia is the ancient Roman festival that honored foreigners, you understand me? That was a guy of fertility. You understand me? Fornication, orgies, sex, and all that stuff. And it celebrated spring, like it was after the winter equinox coming in the spring, right? So for fertility, they would have these festivals, and they would do these festivals to honor prosperity and all that, and who they say started Rome. It was Romulus and Remus. You understand me? There was two twins. They're mythological. You understand me? Think about person. One thing, if you think about all the customs, all the holidays they have, they always come down to a mythological being, like someone that you can look up and realize they never existed. But they always got to have a Zeus or something weird. You know what I mean? Something out of pocket, but we cling on to it before we cling on to the Most High. And these stories are totally made up. You understand me? The story of Remus and Romulus, so-called, they started because their mother supposedly had sex with his name was Mars, supposed to be the goddess of war, right? She was supposed to be a virgin. You understand me? She was supposed to stay celibate, but she got pregnant by a god. Like a god came down, you understand me, and put it on their mom. Like, why out of all the shorties, like you said?
So like, not to cut you off, but man, it seemed like our oppressor has a fascination with, deities getting nasty with humans. Like, I'm sensing a trend. Like, this is your Christianity, man. You understand? This sounds like the same type of, childish carnal nonsense that Christianity is made of, man. When like that type of bugged out mythical thinking will not solve any of the problems in our community. That's not going to fix drug addiction. You understand? Drug addiction is a real thing. Like, it's not mythology. You understand? Like abortion is not Salakia. Yeah, I can say it. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's not like a mythological, belief does not fix that problem. You understand? Brothers and sisters having, a terrible time being, brothers and sisters to each other when they trying to have these relationships. You understand? And breaking up, you know what I mean? And leaving each other and, kicking the man out the house and the children being raised by just mom. And then hell, mom moves some other man in that is not blood relation to the daughters or the kids. You understand? Moving in Lord knows who into the house with all kinds of deviance. Listen, these mythological beliefs don't protect children from, predators, man. Salakia, this is mind blowing, man. Like, and this is what's coming up in a week and a half, right? This is what's coming up. This is what everybody's getting ready to celebrate. Salakia, about a week, ain't it? Something like that. Man, keep dropping that, priest. Salakia.
That's what we want to spend superheroes and ghouls and goblins, you understand me? But they're supposedly their mother laid down with Mars, who's supposed to be a god of war. And if you listen close, like, they worship the stars and the quasars and all that. They name all of them after the planets and stuff, you understand me? But she laid down with the man Mars. She was supposed to be celibate. But she wasn't celibate. The king was like, you got to get rid of your kids. They was going to bury them alive, or they had to drown them. This is so-called. This is not a real story. This is a fictional story. Right. But what happened was the servant got hold of him. You understand? They took the servant to do it, and the servant grabbed him up. Right. You understand? We put him in a little basket. Right, and set them down the river. All right. Now check this out. When she set them down the river, they were rescued by a she-wolf. You understand me? Yes, you heard me. Damn K9 came, grabbed them up out the water and took care of them. Like, fed them by her teeth, right? Like a pit bull puppy, right? Took care of these boys, you understand me? And in the meantime, they grew up, they got bigger, they got stronger. This is the mythical way they put it down. They started robbing the rich people, giving it to the poor, this and that. They got strong enough that they came and killed the king. After they killed the king, they had the option to take over Europe, You understand me? They're twins, so no one had the right to rule a certain place. Like no one outranked the other. You understand me? So they decided to split up, and Romulus became the progenitor or whatever, the founder of Rome. You understand me? And Remus ended up dying. You understand me? But that's where that's what they worshiping in that Lupercalia. You understand me? They worshiping these two brothers. You understand me? Now what comes with that is the festival, the festival of Lupercalia. You understand me? It was held on the 15th of February. You understand me? What they would do is the priest, they had a high priest, they would go to the place where Romulus and Remus was supposedly taken care of by the she-wolf, and they would make sacrifices. They would sacrifice a goat and a dog. You understand me? They would sacrifice a goat and a dog, right? They would they cut them up. First they cut them up. They put the dog's blood on the priest's forehead. You understand me? They put the blood on the priest's forehead, and then they would wipe it back off with goat milk. You understand me? I press the devil the Bible speaks of, right?
Salakia.
You got something about it?
Salakia, you're familiar. Like, what is it? What is it with them in this blood? Huh?
Love it.
Salakia, like, man, like, you know, there's your Dracula.
Right. Yeah.
There's your Count Dracula. If you ever want to know, you know, where they get the ideas for Count Dracula and all these Vikings, you know what I mean? Like all these monsters and the vampires and stuff. Like, yeah, you don't got to look much further than Roman leaders. You understand? And traditions and customs. Salakia, go ahead.
The priest would assemble. They would assemble in the little sacred place. You know what I mean? Put their little blood on their donkeys, right? Wipe it off with a little bit of milk. And the reason they chose the goat and the dogs because of their sexual instinct. You understand me? Like they was paying homage to a sex god. You understand me? Like they have so many gods. Like the Most High tells us, don't have that many gods. They worship everything from the bugs to the sky to everything. You understand me? Okay, they would get together. They would strip naked after that. You understand me? They went in two groups. One group was Team Romulus, another team was Team Remus. Right? They'll split up. Two priests would do it. They'll split up and run around the town to smack girls with the skin. They call them thongs. They would take the skin off the animals and drip them in blood. They would get them nice and wet. You understand me? Drip them with blood. Then they're gonna run around the city and smack your rib. They're gonna smack. When I think would be your rib, because there will be sometimes it'll be ribs, sometimes it'll be single women, because the hopes is fertility. Like you would either, if you were pregnant, you would have a better chance of having that baby. If you weren't pregnant, you would have a good chance of getting pregnant. You understand me? After that, they would you know what I'm talking about?
Salaki, I'm just trying to be crystal clear on what you're breaking down. It's so heavy, sir. Like, so they would take these strips of animal flesh dipped in the blood from the whole terrible, disgusting ordeal in that cave about that wolf, right? They'd bring that garbage back to the city and walk through the streets of the city, literally slapping these bloody strips called thongs up against people.
Yep.
And the people were willing to get hit by this? Or were these people like unsuspecting and like, you know, victims of getting hit by this? Or was this something that the people desired?
If I may,
no, go ahead.
If I can, like you ever see like the basketball players coming out the tunnel, you got two people on each side, so they accepted it, they wanted it, they desired that nasty joint piece of strip touching their body. You know?
So they were running through a gauntlet of, you know, bloody strips. And in their head, this will ensure my pregnancy is, you know, viable. You understand? That, you know, that I'll carry the baby to term and have a successful delivery. And if they weren't pregnant, this was, you know, believed to somehow improve their chances of getting pregnant. Salakia, again, do you understand how this mythology does not really like, you know what I'm saying, solve problems? Like this seems like it would create more problems than solve problems to me. You understand? Like this is pretty sad, you know, and this is what the Roman, this is a Roman tradition.
Catholic Church.
And the Roman Catholic Church are involved in this madness. And this is what the Most High's children are doing today. This is what we as, you know, Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans in the hells of America participate in the middle of every February, thinking that it's something romantic. You know, like trying to spark some intimacy. You understand? These are the activities that our sisters are, you know, demanding from their man. Salaki, all right, if you say so. So you're not done.
They ran through all the shows in the town, you understand me? They would get drunk, commit a bunch of abominations, and then the single men, they would put all the women in the town's names in a box, right?
Okay.
And the single brothers is gonna go up to that box and pull a name out. And whoever name that is, he is getting that box. You understand me? Sometimes they would set Salaki. That's a Roman custom. That's Roman culture. You understand? That ain't Israelite way of life. You understand? But yeah, they will pull that name out of that box, and whoever name it is, sister, you have no choice but to get down and lay down. You understand me? But that's what we're celebrating. You understand me? That was Lupercilia. So,
Salakia. So that was their ancient version of what the hell is that site? You know, singles only, or you know, the swipe left. What is that, John?
Yeah, I know you talking about. What is that?
Come
swipe
on.
left with Tender.
Man, you just put your name in the box and they just pull it out and randomly match you up. And I guess, you know, they're so superstitious and so childish and carnal. They think that, you know, if that's the name that comes out of the box, then that's certainly the one I should be with.
That's all it took.
Now you understand. Now listen, I thank God for the ISUPK under command of General Yohana, man, because that is not how we choose a partner. You understand? A mate. You understand? A rib. That is not how we decide on relationships. Is pulling names out of hats, and then whatever name it is, you know, you just go and, I guess, try to make the baby with. Like that's destructive, huh? You understand? Like that's completely destructive, and that's these are the roots of this holiday that we invest in, called Valentine's Day. Yeah, so like you keep dropping it.
Yeah, that's the roots of like where it was first called Lupercilia. You understand me? I know you want to like, so why they call it Valentine's Day? And I'm about to get into that now. You understand me? So went from Lupercilia to Valentine's Day. This is how it started at the beginning. It was an emperor in Rome. I think his name was Claudius II. You understand me? Okay, Claudius II had a problem with his military, right? They at the time they had a clause that said, if you're married, you don't have to get in the draft and fight with it, right? So he banned the brothers from being married because he felt like they would fight better and they would be better soldiers if they weren't married. I don't know.
Yeah, so like, yeah, I believe another piece to that is, you understand, like brothers was dodging the draft by just getting married. You don't want to go fight. You don't want to, you know, risk your life. You understand? At war, and the one thing that will prevent you from being drafted is getting married. So I imagine there was a huge influx of individuals running, trying to get married so that they don't have to go fight. And I guess that would be problematic for the leadership who wants to fight everybody and wants to kill Salaki wants to unalive everybody, you understand, around them to build their empire. I see the problem. Go ahead.
But with that, it was a Roman physician. You understand me? He was also a Christian. His name was Valentines. You understand me? What Valentines would do is secretly they say he would help the couples get married. You know what I'm saying? I mean, he would go and marry these couples. Like whether he wasn't supposed to do it, so he was bootlegging marriages. You understand me? They also said he used to wear a Cupid ring. I don't know how true it was. The whole thing is not true, but they said he wore a Cupid ring as well, right? And that's how they got the drop on him for the time. The soldiers got the drop on him. They caught him, they jailed him, and they beheaded him. You understand me? But in the process of that, he was in the cell giving it up. Like he was simping in jail. Like he was. This is where your Valentine's Day cards come from. He was in there writing love letters to the jailers' daughters and stuff like that. He was in there writing. He was dropping bars on the jailers' daughters. You understand me? Like, and that's where they get the gist of the Valentine's Day card, the poetry and all that. And then when you think of that in another sense, when you think about the Valentine's Day card and how that worked out, how we simp out, how the female simp out for a brother getting them a card that they ain't even right. Right, you understand? Like, they ain't even your bars. Like, you understand what I'm saying? It's like, okay, hey, you go through picking something and you ain't even write that. You understand? Like, don't give me somebody else's rap and you spit it. Like, you'll never get a deal like that. You gotta spit somebody else's bars. You understand me? But that's how that took place. You understand me? After his execution, after his execution, the Roman Empire, ended up falling and all that other stuff, and that's when it came to America. You understand me? And they Christianized it. They named it Valentine's Day, so because the pagans wasn't ready to give up that Lupercalia like custom, they were still doing some of it. So just like the Christian church to this day, they conform to it. Like, you know how the Christian church joins the world with the things in church, you understand me? They did that, so they still took some of the customs, you understand me, that Lupercalia, but they met in the middle, you understand me, and changed the name. So, but it's still the same thing at the end of the day. They just rebranded it into a Christian thing, you understand me? And that's how that worked out there. But at the end of the day, what do you think, sis? At the end of the day, you know what I mean? That's how it worked out. Okay, and after that, during the Middle Ages, they started using this poetry. Like, that's when Shakespeare and all of them would be writing poetry and make it. They started instead of the fertility aspect of it, they shifted it more towards love. You know what I'm saying? Because Valentine was in there spitting all the poetry and all the poems and all that. They took it, Shakespeare and them took that and shifted it toward the love aspect of it. And this and that had the plays and everything else about that. And that's when it became in the Valentine's Day. After that, they put in the love thing about it. You understand me? And the red rose. You understand me? That's Venus. Venus. She was supposed to be a Roman goddess. She was a goddess of love, beauty, sexuality, and prostitution. You understand me? She's supposed to have been the mother of Cupid, and she loved red roses. You understand me? And since she loved red roses and love, you understand me? They put it all together. So that the red roses is prostitution. Like, just celebrating prostitution is making it.
Stop saying prostitution.
Oh, Salaki. But the adult lifestyle, you understand me? She supported an adult lifestyle that we don't really, like, you never know, like, what you're immersing yourself into unless you do the history of it. The thing is, like, everything that is going on, we could actually look into. And matter of fact, let's get a scripture. Let's get Colossians 2:8. I'm gonna keep going on to the history of this, but sometimes you got to look into it because, like I said earlier, if you want to go to somebody's house and eat the food and you don't even know who made it. You don't know what's in there. You don't know what you're eating. You don't know what you're putting into your body. You don't know what you're condoning. You understand, man? Well, sometimes, I mean, even though we were born and made to celebrate these holidays, sometimes it's best to just do a little research, like see what's going on with the holidays and everything that we indulge in ourselves. You know what I mean?
Sure.
But yeah, I'm gonna get to it. I'm there with you.
You would read?
Yeah, Colossians 2:8.
Sure. Colossians chapter 2, verse 8. Beware, lest any man spoil you.
Beware, like look out. I mean, keep your toes and don't let no man ruin you. You understand me? Don't let them ruin you. Don't, you know what I mean? By worshiping these false gods, you understand me? That the Most High doesn't want us to serve if you're a so-called black Hispanic Native, man. You understand me? Let the pastor have it. You understand me? Let him buy all the candy in the store. Let him buy all the roses. Let him celebrate that. You understand me? Read.
Through philosophy and vain deceit.
It was ideology in his vain deceit. His mythological stuff and things that is not real, like vain deceit. Like no one knows the origins of it. We just feel like we knew what it was, and we don't. You understand me?
Salaki, if I may,
Mm-hmm.
you know, this vain. That word vain is heavy because vanity it means just like empty. You know what I mean? Like fruitless. Like it's nothing to it.
Right.
You understand? And, you know, I just think that this whole tradition, man, like you brought up in the origins, you know, they had the damn strips of blood, you know, smacking people with it. And this will certainly encourage fertility and, you know, that type of thing. When, you know, that's not how it works. You understand? Like, you've been deceived into thinking that that's how babies are made. Nah, everyone knows how babies are made. You understand? And then, like you dropped, they go and have these, you know, nasty adult parties where everybody is just, you know, getting down, you know, how they see fit. And now you're pregnant. And you think it was the bloody strips that did it? You know, you think the bloody strips are the you know, the reason? No, it was that nasty, you know, group of, you know, people you just, you know, dealt with intimately, you know, rapidly one after another. You understand? And simultaneously. Like that's how the babies were made. It wasn't the strips. The strips that's vain deceit, man. You understand? And to think that, you know, with Valentine's Day, to think that these cards, you know, these little pink cards with hearts on them, and that these flowers, you understand, and the chocolates and the teddy bears, to think that these are the things that create a healthy relationship. You understand? Like that. Listen. I've been around a little while. These are things that have certainly broken up a relationship. The demand of one of the parties for these items, these materials, for that sister to not get those hearts and that balloon on her job, that's going to be a nasty fight at home that could result in a separation, a divorce. You understand? Some domestic violence. You think I'm making this up? You think I'm being extreme? All right, you brothers that's not in the truth, go ahead and roll the dice on it. You understand? We in the truth. We do not, in ISUPK, we don't get balloons and flowers on February 14th because our oppressor wants to honor the she-wolf that suckled Romulus and Remus. You understand? We don't believe in that as, you know, the whole catalyst to fertility. We understand what it is. It's Captain Tazariak's oils. That's what it is. You understand? You better off getting slapped some of that on. You understand? Oh, Salagia. But yeah, that's vain deceit, man. And our sisters have been captivated with this holiday in particular, man. This is a holiday that grabs the imagination and the, you know, it's a dream and a fantasy that our sisters get wrapped up in about this holiday, man. That is, I mean, it's absolutely destructive, man. You understand? Like who wants to raise their child to be materialistic, huh? Who wants to raise their daughter to be materialistic, to be able to be seduced by cards, balloons, and gifts and chocolate? I ain't got no daughters, but you know, Salagia, the hell if I would let my daughter, you know, I would teach my daughter the opposite. You understand? It's a dangerous thing. I don't have to tell you how a woman could be taken advantage of because she's materialistic, because she's moved by cards and moved by balloons and flowers. I don't have to tell you the type of danger that comes behind, that type of mentality and that type of philosophy and that type of vanity and that type of deception. You understand? Predators know what their prey desires. You go ahead, sister, you go ahead and be that woman that desires that type of materialistic, those items on the 14th, and it just makes your day, and you're just wide open. Listen, you're going to regret that. You understand? Hey, I got a recommendation. How about get into these classes? Get into these classes in the ISUPK and learn how to be more than that. Learn how to be a grown woman and not a silly child that can be seduced with candy and balloons. Do you hear how vain and terrible that is? Grown women deceived by candy and balloons. And like you said, a card with some romantic words on it that the brother didn't even spit himself. He didn't write the stuff. He didn't even write it. He just went in there and grabbed the dollar card. You understand? Slapped your name on it and handed it over with the candy and the balloons. And you're going to give it up. You're going to regret it, sis. Come in here and grow up. You understand? Lest ye be deceived. You understand? By philosophy and vanity. Salakia, go ahead.
Full through philosophy and like, you're just like that. Our sisters around this time were kind of just like the brothers Jeffrey Dahmer ran up on. You know what I mean? Okay. Who offered them a Pepsi and a good time. Like, you don't think these wolves, these vultures out here, sis, don't know that it's their time to shine?
Come on.
You think he don't know? You don't think that hunter has been hunting long enough to know where to set that trap at? He's gonna catch all. You understand me? Let me lay a trail of flowers, rose petals. Let me lead them right to the bed. You understand?
Oh,
got it.
You said something there.
You
said something there, Salakia.
Yeah, the vultures know what to do that they catch their prey. You understand me? That they know what to do, and our oppressor has made it easy. He made it a day just for them. The day for you, sis. This day for the brothers who wouldn't be able to get you any other day of the week. But this time you're lonely. This time you're vulnerable. This time you are wide open because no brother has gave you a card, a flower, or a balloon. You understand? So the first brother who shows up with one, guess what? That's your boo for the night. Just how they pull them cards out the box back in the day. Otherwise, they're going to pull your card by the end of the day. You understand? And I pray you understand, sis. You understand me? Get in class.
Nah, you making heavy points, man. You dropping it tonight, man. Because, like, I mean, if you give it up for one balloon, you understand, some brother's going to come through with a whole handful of balloons, man. A big bouquet. You understand? And the other points you dropped that was heavy, like, especially with this scripture, and this it's another element of this peer pressure. Peer pressure. Your girlfriend's man got her flowers today. Your other girlfriend's, her sneaky link got her a card and flowers. Everybody else is getting flowers. So now you feel absolutely rejected if you don't, huh? No, you don't got anyone to get you flowers and candy today. You just feel so left out and just so weak. Like you said, now you're vulnerable. Now when the first brother that shows up with, any type of pretend to care, wide open. And that's tragic. You understand? In the world of real responsibility, you know what I mean? In this real world of actions have consequences. You understand? Like these activities have, byproducts. There's a lot of kids born in November. Huh? A lot of people born in November. You can do the math on that. You can think, I'd love to know the statistics on it. I'm gonna look it up.
I did statistics yesterday. They couldn't confirm, but They put it in perspective that at least 10,000 babies last year was conceived on Valentine's Day. At least 10,000 was conceived. I did look that up, and at least 10,000 were conceived on Valentine's Day last year.
And do you know? And it's no short if you don't know. Do you know if they if those statistics are about based on children that were born in November?
I believe that's what they used it on.
Here's
November 15th, they placed it.
Yeah.
So around that area. 15th
No
to
sweat.
the 20th.
Okay. Here's some wisdom. Do you know how many babies are taken inside of that clinic and sent into that incinerator between now and November? I bet that number is astronomical. I bet that number is astronomical. I wish they had to report that data. I bet it spikes in over the next few months. I bet that rate spikes.
I didn't think about that.
Yeah. So like
that's just the one. That 10,000 just the ones who made it to the hospital.
Right. And you know that when it happens, they're like, oh, I didn't mean. I mean, I just wanted to, I was just moved by the candles. I just, the card was just so sweet. I wasn't ready to have a baby.
Right.
Oh, you weren't thinking about it, huh? You again, you're just mystified. You know what I'm saying? Like you're just living in this fantasy world that's driven by vain, deceit. You know what I mean? And dumb philosophies. No sweat. There's a place where you can get undumb. There's a place where you don't ever have to fall for, deceit and getting hustled and gained up with, pink balloons and a half a dozen roses. You understand? So like, yeah, go ahead.
That's the way it is. Like, who got after the
I ain't read that yet.
All right, let's do it.
All right. Let me start from the top.
Yeah, let's do it from the top.
Okay. This is Colossians chapter 2, verse 8. Beware lest any man spoil you through philosophy and vain deceit, after the tradition of men.
This is after the tradition of men. These are the traditions of men. These traditions are not of the Most High. Like, you won't read a scripture in this Bible that's talking about Valentine's Day, that's talking about getting your girl a bouquet of roses. You understand? We're not talking about going to the movies, sitting outside on the blanket, holding hands with tears now you rolling down your face, right? Because y'all love each other so much, right? Because the prophet tells you today you can love your woman, but you will see a scripture saying love your woman every day. You understand? You take care of that woman every day, and don't do it because the traditions of men tell you now it's time to do it. A tradition is something that you do on a regular basis. You understand? It's something that you do all the time. The Valentine's Day is something that they do every year. You understand? Every year on year, they do these traditions. These are traditions of men and not traditions of the Most High. You understand me? We can keep going.
Come. After the rudiments of the world.
After the what?
Rudiments of the world.
The rudiments of the world. There's the Asian society. After the rudiments of these nations, these other nations that are not the so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native Americans. You understand me? This is their traditions. You understand me? These traditions of the world. He said, "Don't love the world." You understand me? He said, "Come out of her." You understand me? Like, we're not supposed to be tarnishing ourselves, letting the sisters tarnish themselves in this world under their traditions, because their traditions are vain. They spoil them, and they leave, and we wonder. We don't wonder, but the brothers in the world wonder why women chase money, why they chase fame, why they feel like they're not loved unless a brother is gonna spoil them, and they took the holiday to themselves, fellas. This holiday is for them. You understand me? I heard a brother earlier was like, I get all my enjoyment out of saying my shorty happy. Those like, brother, you guys spend all your check and do that. You understand me? But in the ISUPK, we can love our women every day of the year. We don't have to wait and do it because the prophet says today you can buy your girl a chocolate-covered strawberry. You understand me? You can get into the jacuzzi, you understand me? Bubble bath and all that. Feed her chocolate-covered strawberries. You can do that any other day of the week. You can do it all the time if you want to. You understand me? Don't do it behind traditions of men, as the scriptures say. You understand?
Cool.
And even on that, because Cupid is like the poster boy of this joint. And our oppressor loves bringing up naked people. Like, if you look back on the oppressor's history, the oppressors, everybody is naked. You understand me? You'll see battles where everybody was fighting naked. You understand me? With swords and stuff, naked. But Cupid was also a pagan god. You can look this up. You understand me? He was supposed to be Venus, as I said, Venus, the adulterer, the female adulterer, and Mercury. Mercury is supposed to be the winged messenger or whatever, because they love the planets and love tying planets to people. You understand me? But that's why the brother got wings. They said the brother was devious. They said he was artistic or something like that. Beautiful. You understand me? And he also would call him arrows. Also, you understand me? He shoots arrows at gods or humans and make them fall in love. Like how we don't believe in the Most High. We believe this. You believe it's a little baby flying around here shooting arrows, and that's why you wiped up this thing over here. That's why you with your man, because Cupid came and ran down on you. Like, you understand me? Okay, but there they tell you that Cupid came through with his arrow. He came through and shot you up. But that's a pagan god. That's you can look this up. There's nothing was ever about that. I don't want.
No, you finish your point. So like it.
No. Okay. But that's where the Valentine's Day we got the heart with the arrow through it. It came from Cupid. You understand me? The pagan god Cupid, the heart, he shot in your heart while you in love because he told you to be in love. You understand me? I don't want.
So like it. And again, here we go with more of this terrible philosophy, and this vain deceit. You understand? So a sister is supposed to believe that her lust for material things is, you know what I mean? That's not what it is.
Mm-hmm.
You know, she was moved by the flowers and all of those. The card was just so sweet.
Mm-hmm.
And all the gifts, the bracelet, the Pandora bracelets, do they still do those? That's how long I've been out the Valentine's Day game. You understand? The Pandora bracelets. So she gets all wooed and excited over these materials, and now she's to believe that Cupid struck her with an arrow. You understand? Like it's not your lust and your gullibility. You understand? And your simpleness being, seduced by some items that makes you feel like you're in love. That can't be what it is. The reality. It must be this god named Cupid who just hit me with an arrow, and for some unknown reason, I'm now in love with this gentleman. Listen, we have got to come out of this world, man. You understand? Like when the scripture says that, the after the rudiments of this world, that in this world, in this America world, that materialism is a rudiment. It is foundational. It is a major principle in America. You understand? For a woman to, be pleased materialistically, like it is the fantasy. It's the American dream. You understand? What have you done for me lately? Huh? Should have put a ring on it. I don't want no scrubs. Come on, and I'm dating myself by putting, those. You know what I'm saying? Like, Lord knows what in the hell Cardi B and Megan Thee Stallion are even talking about. You understand? Like that's the rudiments of this world. You understand? That materialism. The Most High warns against it. He warns us against it. You understand? Tory Lanez, you know what I'm saying? That was Megan Thee Stallion. Come on, man. They had all the rudiments. They had all the rudiments, huh? All the materials. How'd that work out? So like, you keep dropping it, priest.
I'll give you one. Happy wife, happy life.
Right. Come on.
What's up? What do you mean by that? What do you mean by that, sir? Right? It seems like y'all should help each other in life, but the traditions of men had made it one-sided in relationships. Like, why would a brother even want to be in a relationship when it's just me serving? You understand me? But that's the traditions of men. You get an ISUPK and realize you don't have to be a servant. You understand me? We both can serve each other. Thus saith the Lord. You understand me? Under the way the Lord wants us to do it. You understand me?
That's right.
And at the end of the day, like, we're not even realizing that these traditions are pushed on us by the Christian church. That's how you get the euphoria of I just have to get it on tonight because it celebrates fertility, it celebrates fornication, it celebrates lust. It's like the Christian church where you're in there with the music playing. You understand me? They playing the slow songs. They got the music all low. The preacher saying all the right things. They start hitting that little piano on you, and so you know you running up and down, back down the aisle. You understand me? It's the same with Valentine's Day, right? Next thing you know, you need a plan B. Next thing you know, you're with a brother that you want to stick with the rest of your life because you was caught in the moment. You was caught in the euphoria of Valentine's Day. You know what I mean? Thinking it's all about cards and not knowing the actual custom and meaning behind it. At the end of the day, you're doing the same thing they did back in the day. You're doing it now under a different name, under a different guise, right? I mean, and then like you don't think about like how America, how the profiting off of us. You understand me? I did research and last year in 2022 they spent about 21 billion on Valentine's Day. This is during the pandemic. Last year it was 23 billion, so it went up even further. You understand me? So what we're not realizing is how we so worried about spending all this money on Valentine's Day. Oh yeah, and it's at least $175 a piece a person. And I don't believe that part, you understand me? Because it got way more. Think about you gonna go out to dinner, right? That dinner gonna be about $200, maybe something like that. You're gonna get a little hotel room, $200. You gotta get the gifts, you gotta get this, you gotta get that. But how is that helping us as a nation? You understand me? We're still gonna be getting beat up by the police, still gonna get murdered by the police. We are still gonna be in poverty, right? We're still gonna be number one in high blood pressure, right? We're still gonna be number one in cancer. We're gonna be still number one in lung disease. We're going to be number one all across the board. We're going to be number one in failing in school, right? Educational, everything. Like every holiday, we so quick to jump to. We need to be that quick to jump to these laws, statutes, and commandments. You understand me? Because that's what's actually real. You understand? We follow a living God who gives us real living instructions that will help you live. You understand me? We follow the traditions of men. We do nothing but die. It leads to death. Imagine how many brothers are going to catch a charge come Valentine's Day because they found out they're the only brother. Imagine how many sisters is going to catch a charge because she found out that brother in the world went to a little side piece the neck on the 15th. Right? It causes nothing but destruction. It builds you up for one day just to let you down the rest of the day. You understand? We're so quick to hop on these trends. We're so quick to do what our oppressor does. We want to be our oppressor so bad, but that's not our lifestyle. Our oppressor can afford to do the things he do to like celebrate these holidays. These holidays is for him. They're not for the so-called black man, Hispanic man, Native man. But we have to ask our oppressor to get married. You understand me? Why you understand me? We're in a society where you got to ask your oppressor, is it okay for us to get? Is it okay if I make this my rib? You understand me? These holidays are for you, and everybody want to get on one knee on Valentine's Day, right? Everybody on them knees. Them knees are dirty on Valentine's Day on both sides of the field. You understand me? If you know what I mean, you understand? Them brothers going to propose. Them brothers are pulling them rings out. They are going into that credit card getting maxed out. You understand me? They're buying all the jewelry. They are in the jewelry store.
That K's jeweler. Yeah, the K's jewelry credit card, that line of credit.
Mm-hmm.
So like
then they got to make it up for the rest of the year. It's like, you know what I mean? Like, our process juices us. It juices us until we're all empty, and after that, you got to celebrate something else. You understand me? When people, we all love God, right? We love God. The church people love God, right? As your pastor is Valentine's Day in his Bible. You understand me? People would say that Valentine's Day is nowhere in his Bible, but he's going to still turn around and celebrate it. You understand me? But I wouldn't put it past him because they do a whole lot of things that the Bible doesn't condone in that Christian church. And that's why us as so-called black, Spanish, and Native Americans need to get out that Christian church because they're not helping you. They're prolonging your destruction. You understand me? You're not going to get real guidance unless you're getting it under command and General Yohana in the priests and prophets of the ISUPK. You understand me? That's the only people with the truth. That's the only ones with wisdom that can get us out of this poverty that we are in to this day. You know what I mean? Other than that, we're gonna be chasing vain deceit. You understand? Traditions of men. You understand me? And love the creature more than the creator. You understand? We love that. We love them flowers, that roses, and all that stuff more than we love the Most High. We love Cupid. We love goddamn box of chocolates. Them nasty. Like I ate two. I remember when I was in the world. I ate two of them chocolates. I think it was the milk chocolate, John. It was another one. The rest of them are disgusting. They were terrible. You understand? We had some
No,
they're terrible. Like we're getting sold a lot. We got hit with the okey doke. You understand me? We're getting okey doke on every other month. We're okey doke by a pagan holiday, serving a pagan god that we are not supposed to. We're going to Jeremiah 10:2.
Okay.
You understand? We're okey doke on a regular basis, and I need the so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native people men and women, to open our eyes to the deceit. Because none of this deceit it's not hidden at this point. Because we got the Google, we have all these streaming services, you got everything. You can get to the bottom of what things really mean. You understand me? Instead of just walking blindly into them because they've been fed to you since you was a kid, since you was young, and you're not a kid anymore. So you shouldn't fall for the same thing you fell for as a kid. You understand?
Right.
You got that other one?
Yeah, you want me to read this out the Bible?
Out the Bible. You understand?
God, the book of Jeremiah, chapter 10, verse 2. Thus saith the Lord.
Thus saith the Lord, this is the Most High. Read.
Learn not the way of the heathen.
Do what they do. Read it again.
Learn not the way of the heathen.
Celebrate Valentines Day.
Learn not the way of the heathen.
Learn not the way of the heathen, man. Don't do the things that they do. You understand me? Don't learn their ways. You see the ways they doing? Don't learn. You know what I mean? That means don't see what they do. Don't watch them and then repeat it. You understand me? Don't do that. You understand me? Read.
And be not dismayed at the signs of heaven.
And don't be dismayed at the signs of heaven. Don't be confused. Don't be like, and don't be sad because you didn't get a rose. You understand me? Don't be sad because you didn't get a bouquet this year. Don't be sad and now you feel like you're worthless. Now your depression went up. You understand me? Now you feel worthless. Now because of their holiday. I don't want.
Yeah. So like, don't make gods of the stars and the planets, and then make up simple stories about them. You understand? Just so you can, get have orgies. You understand? Like, don't do that.
That's what they do.
Like
That's real, man. They all their pagan gods come from the solar system. You understand me? And they're mythical creatures. And they tell you they're mythical creatures. They stand on it. Let them people walk the earth. You understand? You know who did walk the earth? Yahweh. Christ walked the earth. You understand me? Follow him. You understand me? Don't follow the vain traditions of men. You understand me? You got more on that one?
Just a couple more. Says, for the heathen are dismayed at them.
Because the heathen worship the mythological creatures. Because the heathen believe in Cupid. Because the heathen believe in Romulus and Remus, who was goddamn fed by a wolf. You understand me? Because they believe that the priests should run around, get stripped naked. You know what I mean? They call it a thong, where they strip the animals with their hide, their skin, and run around and smack people with it. They are dismayed. They are ran over. They're bamboozled. They don't know what to do by the signs of heaven. You understand me? But the Most High left you a map so you can navigate your way through here and not be dismayed at the signs of heaven, because you already know it's pointless. You already know it's in vain. You already know that's just traditions of men and not the traditions of the Most High. You understand me? Because what is that? Like Hosea 4:6 says, "My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge." That's the only reason we're destroyed and still destroyed. You understand me? Because we lack the knowledge. You understand me? But we give you that knowledge in the ISUPK and the Commander in Hana, so you don't have to be destroyed anymore. So you don't have to feel bad if you didn't get Valentines. So you don't have to go broke. You understand me? To please a dragon who only wants you to spend all your bread on you and throw you away. You understand me? So you don't have to go get that abortion. So you don't have to get that plan B. You understand me? So you don't have to become a whore because it's February the 14th.
Can't say
it's a lot.
No sweat.
So you don't have to be promiscuous. You understand? Because it's February the 14th. You understand? It's a better way of life that you can be virtuous. You understand? With that, I'm gonna pass the class. Oh, you got anything out of Audemars?
Nah.
All right, then I'm gonna pass the class to Officer Ice Island.